Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. My name is Miri. Thanks so much for being here. Today I want to talk about confidence, how to build self-esteem, how to build self-trust, and I have a couple of tips for you that I want to share with you. The first tip I have for you today is speaking your truth, and that is so important. A statement that gets thrown around a lot in how to build your confidence, how to build your self-esteem is fake it until you make it. Act it out. Pretend you're the confident person. And while it did work for me a couple of times, I always felt like I was being fake. I was putting on a mask and I was not really true to myself, because it is normal to feel vulnerable. It is normal to not feel confident all the time. And again, it did work in some situations and you can try it out for yourself, but I feel like I was putting on a mask and eventually people had a weird fake view of me that wasn't actually true to me. So I always felt like I had to pretend to be a different person because I was pretending to be confident. Faking it is a disservice to you. You're not being authentic. You're not your true self. And I felt like I couldn't be the best version of myself. So speaking your truth is being okay with other people not agreeing with you, by not being liked by everybody. It is a normal thing and a normal scenario for us humans to want to belong. We want to be part of that group. We want to be loved. We want to be accepted. We want to be understood and heard and be part. It's hard to feel a way that you're not part of something or you're just left out, right? So I think that's where it comes from, where we try to put on masks, but it's so exhausting in the long run to pretend to be someone just to be liked by others, even though we're not. So I would encourage you to be brave and speak your truth, because the right people will find you. Show who you really are. Share what you really want to share with anybody who you come across with, and just know that the right people will come to you and they will stick with you. And yeah, if you have to pretend to be something you're not just to be liked by others, then they're not really your people anyway. No, it's hard, and we want to belong. We want to have that sense of community. You will get there by being truthful to yourself, being authentic to yourself, and sharing who you are with the world and everyone around you. Tip number 2 is taking risks. And if you have struggled with confidence and self-trust, taking risks is a good way to improve that. There is this misconception that you have to have trust first in order to do and try new things, to take risks. But it's actually the opposite way, where we have to do something new. We have to take these risks. We have to be bold. We have to be brave. And then we feel the trust. Then we feel the confidence. Then we're like, yeah, I did that. I can't believe I did it, but I did it. And I think we're sometimes trying or waiting it out and waiting for that moment when we feel ready. But I have never had a moment when I really felt ready when I tried something new. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna go for it. And I think the other thing that comes with that is being okay with being a beginner at something. Trying something new, not having the expectation that I have to be perfect right away. Try it out. You never know until you try. And what helped me a lot is the mindset of, if I would not do that right now, would I regret it later on? And that's usually a yes, I would. So I'm like, okay, let's just be bold, let's be brave, take the risk and do it. And going back to the first point also, like being truthful to who you are. If we think about little kids, right? They don't care what other people think about them. They just do. They are just themselves, fully themselves. They don't care if they're crying. They don't care if they're loud. They don't care if they want to do something. If they want to do something, they go for it. They build that sandcastle and work on it for hours. But they're doing it just for the sake of doing it. They don't go in with the expectation that it has to be something at the end. We as adults have this, like, everything must lead to something mindset, where they build a sandcastle, for example, and they build that for 3 hours. In a second, they go and destroy it, and they laugh and they have the most fun. And they don't care. We as adults are like, oh my God, why did you do that? It was so beautiful, it was so pretty, it was so cool. But kids just don't care, and I think we're losing that along the way. So remind yourself of being a little kid, just trying it out for the sake of trying it out, and taking risk. I think it's like a little ladder too. If you confidence builds up, if you have a success, if you're doing something that you might have been scared of doing before, and you did it, it's like ticking a box, like, oh yeah, I did it, I'm proud of myself. And then let's build up on that, doing the next scary thing and taking another risk. This is how you build up your confidence. What also helps are power poses. I'm gonna put some pictures on the screen so you can see them, but practicing them in front of the mirror, like really standing upright, being like open, having an open body posture, helps with that as well. So imagine, how would a confident person, how would you describe a confident person? A confident person doesn't come into a room where there might be a networking event and they're slouching and looking down and like not making eye contact with anybody. They're just open shoulders, relaxed shoulders, wide smile, or just, you know, confident, whatever that is. And then step number 3, or tip number 3, is to let go of old stories. Usually when it comes to confidence, self-esteem, self-trust, we take a hit probably around childhood sometime. Sometimes it's the teenage years, sometimes it's a little later in school, bullying happens or something else. And then we don't believe in ourselves, we think we're not enough, and then the confidence plummets. And this is your invitation to let go of these stories, especially when it comes to trying something new, or going after our dreams, or doing something we really want to try. We have those stories in the back of our minds, like, oh, it didn't work that time, or yeah, but what if they don't like me? What if this happens? What if that happens? You get into your thought spiral, but that's in the past. Just think of it as an experience. Let go of these stories. They don't serve you, and it's an experience you had, and move on from that. Sometimes I think that's holding us back because we're so stuck in the past. See the things that happened in the past as an experience, but also remind yourself that you're not that little kid anymore. You're not that teenager anymore. You're growing up, you're wiser, you have more experience, and it's not the same person anymore. So go after what you want and let go of these stories. And I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but what helped me a lot is my morning routine, my morning journal. I have a specific morning routine journal video that I will link so you can watch it next. It focuses a lot on an abundance mindset, a lot of things that work well, that go well, and there's also a section of where you can write down your wins of the day or the day before, which, again, going back to what I said before, taking it step by step up a ladder to build your confidence, it's a good visual tool to look back on it and see, oh my God, like I really did a lot and I can be proud of myself. I hope these tips helped you, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for joining me, and see you soon.